All right, here's my sawmill we're about to go throw out there onto the ground. I have yet to open this thing after having it for months. I couldn't even tell you the day I bought it. I don't remember. It's been sitting right over there for months and months now. Now we're ready to go set it out there underneath that awning and throw it together. So yeah, just don't look at it too much. It's pretty rough. But hopefully everything under here should be good. If you have any problems, hopefully I'll be able to reach out to Harbor Freight. Probably not, because it's been forever, but you know, hopefully, because I didn't open it. You know what I mean? So whatever. Oh, we didn't tie it down either, so hopefully it doesn't fall. That would not be cool. Almost here. It only fell off almost one time. I hit the corner of it and kind of shifted it. That's about it. Look at Dad up there, brush hogging away. What a crazy man. Anyways, we'll get back when we're parked under there. Well, off he goes. Look at this. Look what he did. Man, that looks good. Back over here. Man, somebody takes care of the yard. All right, anyways, we're here. Let me go ahead and pop the top off of this. There really ain't much but just broken pieces everywhere. This is how I got it. There was some straps on it. I took those off before the video. That's those green ones there. They were strapped around like that. We'll use that for something, I guarantee you. All right, this is what we got. Whatever all this is, and I'm sure there's stuff in boxes and stuff tucked down in there, but we'll get to that. Right now we just need to get it out of there. You know what I mean? Alright, so I'm kind of laying everything out. This box is on top. This is like the roller deal that I'm assuming the bandsaw sits on over there. And then there's some more stuff in here with an owner's manual we can look at. There's these weird little cylinder and square shaped pipes, tubes, whatever you want to call them. But one thing that's kind of weird to me is there's this weird little powdery substance going on in here. I wonder if this is part of a drug operation. No, probably not. It's probably just some sort of packaging thing, but you know, it sounded cool. And then you got all this weird stuff. I don't know how to act right now, to be honest with you. Anyways, continue. Okay, all of this was in the contents of these two boxes that were going this way that are now here. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but there you go. All right, we're looking at this really nice drawing here. And yeah, that looks, yeah. Anyways, on a real note, you're looking for these three in the middle. The one that's actually in the middle of like a 6 or 7 foot pole here, it has these flat plates. So you're going to be doing this one in the middle, this one and this one on the outsides of it, and then the ones with nothing on the very end. The longest section, so you can see here, long, short, you're going to put the longest section on the ground, and these are going to be angled, and all I'm doing for these is just following the angle of the bolt holes on this here, and then we're good. So that's where we're at. We'll come back when we get all this bolted on there, kind of, sort of. All right, here we are. We got a big thing of bolts here. It's just a jumbled up mess, really, because they put a bunch of them in there together, and then this as well. This, like T-bolt that they welded together, had these in here. You're going to need those for the end. 2 on each side, there, and then on this side of the end, you're going to need 2 more. And to put those on, you're going to want to look for these little bitty bolts with that nut and a little like a rubber plastic ring in it. It's like a lock nut or whatever. And then you're going to want these flange bolts with a nut that has a flange on it too. And then these nuts and bolts are going to go through every single one of these and blah blah blah. So just be aware, be aware of that. All right, I got this camera backed up. This really don't look like much, but it's longer than you might imagine. I don't know, about 13 and a half feet, give or take. When you're putting this on here, right now we don't have it all bolted solid or anything. It's kind of just loosely on there so we can move it around. It's probably the easiest way to put this together. When you're throwing these on the sides, make sure these are on the outside. Like I said, each corner pretty much has one, so there's 4 total. With the smaller bolts, and then every one of these besides the middle one has 4 bolts, 2 on each side. The middle one has 4 on each side because it's conjoining these 2 angle iron, whatever the fuck you want to call them, together. So that's where we're at. We're going to see about putting the rest of this stuff together with that basic little drawing I told you about. We're at the point we're going to be putting this stuff on right here. Alright, let me show you something here real quick. You see these little deals right there? Right there? And this looks a bit different than it actually is from diagram over here. This is what we got. I already put it together. But in here, there's that little piece I was showing you. You can slide it here and there, back and forth. You got this piece that's just held on there, and then this one here slides down in it. You hold that in. This is its own piece, this is its own piece, this is its own piece, and then these 2 and the 4 bolts as well. So that's what it should look like. It's a bit different than the diagram, but that's what we got. Okay, so we used the last 3 of these little winged bolts, or the little T-bolts, or whatever you want to call them. We used the last 3 here, and then these pipes. I can show you this one here. There's only 2 of these. They're about that long, and they have this little stopper on them, so they can only fall so far, and that's it. So those 2 are the same. This one is angled. There's actually another one that we had laying over here. Dad moved it. But as of right now, that's all it's told us to put on here. And that's what we're going with. So if you're following along here, too small, probably about a foot long. I don't know, it's kind of a guesstimate here. Square tubing with a little stopper that faces up. And then this one that's probably about 2 foot long that has an angled piece on it. And that's where we are. Okay, so Dad made a good catch. So he was going through and looking at the papers over here while I'm messing with everything else. The saw itself and the motor, everything's, which is right here, is going to set on this end, and it's going to push that way. All right, that's going to hold the log, so you can only push it so far. It'll hit that, and the second one is like the same thing. If you want to move it or whatever you need to do, it's just extra, I'm thinking. And this handle is going to be on this side. I had it flipped earlier, so this handle was over here. So just make a mental note of that. Make sure you know which way you're pushing your saw, so you can tell where all the stuff is. But if yours is just like mine, if this is on the left side, that has to be facing the opposite, because this, when you spin it, twists out into the log and pushes it into that. So it's all stationary. It's all doing the good things it's supposed to be doing, okay? All right, this is about as far as we got. Went and had some food and put the tractor up. As you can see, she's not here, and we have the mule back. So we still have this stuff to put on, but here's the problem. All right, rollers, that stuff goes on the rollers, but it also connects to that. So before I start putting all the top and everything and all that, all of it together, I'm gonna go over here. I got 2 bubble levels, a tape measure, and 6, 7 blocks. I only really needed 6, but I can't count. So I'm gonna go ahead and start leveling this and marking it all up with some stringers. I got 4 corner posts over there I'm going to use. It's a little, I don't know, foot long thing of rebar. Stick in the ground. Run some string, get it kind of level. And yeah, use the blocks to put this on, and then we'll come back and tighten all this stuff up, and then we'll put the top on. That makes sense? Okay, so I picked this out a good spot to lay the first stake. Alright, that'll give us enough room from here to there, and also over here. Okay, I want to be able to walk around this and have enough room between the posts to work with everything, but still have enough room over here that I can lay some stuff over there if need be. Now, we have this stake put in the ground wherever we really want. This is our starting point. And what we need to know is how long and how wide this is. So I'm going to take my tape measure over here. And hopefully I can do this one-handed. Probably not, though. We know how this goes. Put that thing right there. Come on now. There. This is... looks like 12 foot, 9 inches, and 7/8. And wide, we are... excuse me. I have this sniffle that will not, for the love of God, go away. Alright, can you hook on there, please? Alright, we're about 2 foot 6 inches and we'll do 3/8. Closer than a half. So here's what I wound up doing. I just ran a tape measure from this corner to that corner. I got about 13 1 inch and 3/8. I just ran it across, put it on that. It'll be relatively close. I didn't want to do it this way, but I would have had to went home and got a pen and paper because I'm not going to sit here and try to do all this math in my head. Probably really easy for some of you, but for me, math is not my strong suit. Anyways, there's a little bit of openings here and there, like in the middle, it's kind of off there, but it's going to be sitting on a block, so we'll get it relatively close. I'm just worried about it being level. It is level. You can check the bubble here for me. If it'll, yeah. See that bubble in there? That's pretty level right there. But anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get another stake, rod, whatever you want to call it, rebar, one of them. I'm going to take the measurement from here. I'm going to do it right there. That's why I laid the block there. I'm going to come over, and I'm going to go all the way up there until they touch. You'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. You just wait. There's our 2 foot 6 inches and 3/8 across this way. It's level. I don't know why I'm trying to level this right now. I mean, it's kind of pointless because when I put the blocks down, it's not going to be level at all. I'm going to have to dig. That's why I brought a shovel. But anyways, we got that one. It's nowhere near 90, but I'm about to run it up that way and get it kind of where it needs to be. All right. So, this is how you do squaring. Starts with a triangle, okay? Length, width, this is what you need. We found out what that was. It was like 13 something something, all right? You know what it was. You just heard it. I don't. It was like 10 minutes ago for me. And then we did this one. And what I like to do is kind of eyeball this one to get it kind of straight. Don't have it like this or like that, you know, just kind of half-ass it straight. And then you'll run your stringer from here up to where you put this line. And if you remember, this is like 12/9 something. Well, you run it up there until it meets that point. And it just so happens, let me see if I can show you guys this without the tape measure falling off 1,000 times. You get up here and you measure it. 12/9 7/8 right there. You're measuring on the outside. See? It's about 3/4, but we're close enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. But that's how you're going to want to do it. Now we got to do the other side. So we'll get this. We'll put it over there. Run it across. I'm probably just going to make another one that's the same length as this one and just run it. Because I only got one of these left. So, yep. That's how we're going to do it. And once I figure out where I'm going to put these cinder blocks, then we have to get the cinder blocks level. And I'll show you guys how to do that in just a second. Alright, this took me just a little bit. Long enough to where I think I'm about to go to the house and relax for the day. But we got everything lined up. We got it all level-ish. Like I said, it doesn't really matter until we go to put the cinder blocks down. We'll have to dig a little bit and kind of level them so they'll lay flat. But we know around about where they're going to be. And the X is going to give us the midpoint. So we should be able to just throw a block here, a block there, and we're good. My plan with these blocks is to get where that stake is just about as midpoint as you can get. By the way, check the Crocs. Anyways, just the midpoint this way. Kind of just basically pick it up, lay it down. You'll see it tomorrow. And then when we're going lengthwise, I'm just going to run them that way. But just so this thing can have some support. Good Lord, English, for God's sakes. I know it's hard. Come on now. We're going to get this thing off the ground, give it some support, make it as level as humanly possible. Well, for me anyways. And then, yeah, we're going to finish putting this stuff together. Hopefully it'll be done by tomorrow. And we'll be rocking and rolling with something else. If you guys really wanted to know, I am still cooking away at digging all those holes over there. See those little mounds of dirt? Yeah, that's me. But anyways, bright and early tomorrow, probably around, I don't know, 10:30. I got stuff to do early morning these days, so I'll see you around 10 o'clock and we'll get these set up and finish everything else. All right, so I'll show you in just a minute with the level that we leveled everything. And I know I'm skipping a little bit here because it's been raining, as you can tell, off and on quite a bit. I don't want my phone and all that stuff getting wet. But what I did for this is start on the tallest side with the brick, which was this one, and work my way out. I would do these two and then down and back. And I ran a bunch of stringers with some posts, used a line level, and ran it across so I know where the height was supposed to be. And then after I got them, roughly there, I took the level here, ran them across and the side to side and whatnot. But here's what we're working with after we put it all on there. If I can get that over there. That's where our bubble is. I can't English to save my life, I promise. And then here is there. And it's about the same all the way down. So we got it pretty level. But if you're doing this at home, just run you some stringers with a line level and then get you a 4 or 6 foot level and do it like that. You'll have to play with it for a long time. I use shovel, some dirt, and the blocks. It's really all you need. Wood, whatever you want. Just sit there and mess with it and really make this level, because this is going to be, if this is off, everything's going to be off, and you don't want that. So just take your time on this. We still have the top to put together, and we're going to be doing that in just a bit. But I'll line these up parallel to each other, so I know when I flip them, they'll go on here just like this on the outside, and that'll let me know where I'm going to put the square and the circular tube. Of course, yours is going off a picture. Picture don't really help none, but you have the square here with the break, and then the circle and another break there. It's a hand release, and you get them lined up, you flip that over here like that. You'll know that the circle one's on the left side here and the square tube's on the right. So when you move them over, everything should line up. And what else am I missing here? Oh, there's two bolt holes on each side. They line up like here and that one. They'll line up. You got these two green pieces you got to put on there and get it all lined in and everything. And you'll know what I'm talking about in just a second. I'll show you. Alright, we cleared out a little place to get the tractor in here. Real quick before we throw this stuff together, on each side, this one's a square tube. There's a little green flat plate that you're going to put on the outside. I put the bolts through and the nut on the inside just so you guys can follow along here. This is the round pipe. It also has a green piece. It's more rounded on the inside. So same thing there. And then this is the little pieces we got left here. This is like a little arm on the top. I'm not even real sure what it does. And this is supposed to be a gauge of, I don't know, inches, how thick you want the stuff. I don't really know. There's nothing on it. It's just a little deal you can move down while it's on there so you can see depth. We'll figure that out in a bit. But this goes on top of the circular pipe. And you'll cinch it up, and then over here there's a little threaded deal for the square tubing that goes in the top right there. You can see the two holes. So yeah, We'll be putting this together in a minute. I'm waiting on some straps. We're gonna throw some straps, one on each side, lift this up, move it around, and set it down. And hopefully it won't be that bad. Now, if you're doing it like me, it's probably best, you know, if you got I think this is about 10 foot in the back and 12 in the front. I don't know. You got good ceiling height, but you might not want to get it all the way up there. Say yours is a little bit lower. Outside, bring it up as far as you need it. Slide the stuff on, cinch it down, and then bring it in when these are like yay high. Just makes it a little easier on you guys if you don't have that. And I have seen a lot of other people, they'll get a hoist, and they'll hoist it up and move everything over. If you got a tractor, it'd be a lot easier. If you got a couple of 4 or 6 buddies, it'd be a lot easier. But yeah, this is how we're doing it. A couple straps on each side, bring it around. And also, before you do this with your tractor and shut it down, make sure you don't have a serious hydraulic leak. That'd be a really not fun way to find out that you do if this thing just slams down. So keep that in mind too. Just know your stuff, okay? All right, we moved all that stuff over there for nothing because this was actually backwards when we picked it up. So we had to come around on this side. It's not a big deal. We went ahead and we loosened those tracks up again, ran it down from the top to bottom, and we're about to cinch it back up, and then we'll get the tractor out of the way. All right, we got this on here after a little bit of messing around. My little brake here, this little deal I think was bent. So when we put it on here and we let all the straps off, it kind of slowly rid its way down, but it didn't hurt nothing. Everything's still pretty level. We're gonna get ready to put the top on and figure out what we're doing after that, because I really don't know. I think you got to tighten up these, just so you're aware. These are loose, so we'll have to tighten up these bolts, and these are for that brake to clamp down on this. So make sure you tighten that up. If I were you, I'd do it before you put it on here. Lining up these are a little difficult, but it's not really that bad, especially using the tractor. So we're gonna, I think I'm gonna let this down. I'm gonna roll it over here because it's technically supposed to be on this side. Yeah. And we got some of the top to put on. I also found, just so you guys know, I found this little measurement deal here. It also goes to the throttle, so we'll have to put that on there. But it's actually there. I thought mine was lost, but it isn't. So back to what we were doing, figuring out where some cables go and this crap. We'll be back. All right, Dad's helped me tighten that up over there. That is an 18 mil, and these bolts, there's a little flat plate that goes on the outside of the square tubing, and then this like swing arm you put down on the circular tube and then swing it over to the holes and bolt them up. This right now just kind of sitting on there loosely. We got to tighten these up. I'm not sure what the size is, but there's a bolt and a nut just like everything else on this. And we got a couple other things we got to tidy up and find places for. I don't know how any of this is supposed to go, so we'll have to look into that. All right, we got this thing pretty much all put together. I don't really know any other thing that goes on there. Here in a little while, we got to figure out why this one is about, I don't know, 3/4 to an inch off, and that one's hitting over there. So somehow this is tweaked here. I think it's up here that this needs to move. I don't really know. We'll figure it out. It could have been when we were putting it on there, this frame flexed a little bit. I very seriously doubt it, but whatever. Let me go through a couple things with you since I couldn't show you earlier. Those 2 metal cables that come in it, one goes here, and they got 2 nuts on the bottom of a bolt that's welded onto a little D-ring or whatever you want to call that. Put one here, and you'll put one there. This one comes up, goes over this pulley, under and over, back over here, from the bottom and across, and then this one comes from the top, runs all the way over to this here, and then straight down. I have not really adjusted these. These are pretty much all the way down. I don't think it matters. When you crank this, you can see it moving up there very slowly, and it raises and lowers this, so you don't have to try using your back, you know. All right, Dad. When you go to put this little water dill on here, you keep your bandsaw pretty cool. Comes from the top, There's 2 nuts on each bolt here. You'll back one off and a lock washer. Slide this in there, put the lock washer and the nut on. This little metal retainer of some sort is inside of here. I don't know why it was in there, but whatever. It goes to something, I don't know. Take it out, and you'll run this line all the way down till you see a hole right here. And you can see you put it through there and down so it'll dribble onto that and keep this blade cool. There's a bolt here that you have to back out, or I'm sorry, it's the top one that you have to back out to be able to slide this through, because this one was ran all the way in. And what else? You have the throttle, and this is also your like measurement of how the depth is, what you want to cut. I don't know, 2 by 4 by whatever the fuck you want to use, I suppose. It bolts on here, 2 bolts straight through with little locking nuts, and then you got this little metal rod on the side that you can use to adjust where you want it. And then it also has 2 bolts right here that also have nuts on the inside back there. I think that's about everything. If I missed anything, you guys feel free to let me know. I think that's about all of it. You just got to go through here and tighten about 100,000 different bolts, and to get everything half correct here and there. This here, just for you guys to know, is a way to adjust inside here. There's a giant like spool here and a spool there, or a wheel, or whatever you want to call it, that a belt rides on. That is what uses the motor's power to spin to make this band roll around. And that can adjust it. You can adjust it here and there all the time. And then this side is more of a solid like build, to where you can adjust it, I'm assuming, by nuts and bolts here. So I think that's about everything. We're going to get into the motor. Let me go ahead and show you guys so you can look on yours when you get your Sawmill. Like I said, mine, when I opened it the other day, had that like packing stuff that blew open everywhere. So inside my air cleaner, you can see a bunch of this stuff. I'm going to have to take it off, and it's all the way down in there too. I'm going to have to take this off and blow it out, and then come back, put oil, gas, and all that stuff in it. Just make sure it's not up inside the motor. I don't think this one will be, surely, but we'll see. Hopefully it caught it right there and that was the end of it. But I think if I remember right, they leave this out and you have to put it in there. I don't really remember. It's been so long since I've messed with this. Anyways, give all that stuff a look. Make sure everything looks and works properly, and you should be good to go. If you guys have any questions about this stuff, feel free to let me know. I'll see if I can get back with you. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. This is new to me, and I don't know. You guys take it easy. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you around. Bye-bye.